I'm sure you all remember the whole Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation that happened, I think, 2 years ago. Basically, what happened was Megan Thee Stallion was out to a Kylie Jenner party with her best friend Kelsey, and Tory Lanez was also there. Tory Lanez was trying to flirt with Kylie Jenner, and Kylie Jenner wasn't wanting him to flirt with her. Megan Thee Stallion and her friend Kelsey were leaving, but Megan said, I think she was like, I forgot something, and went back to the house, saw that Tory was flirting with her, and she said, cut that shit out. They started arguing, and then boom, Kylie kicks them out. Well, they get outside, and Megan and Tory start bickering back and forth. Now, if none of you know who Tory Lanez is, he's a rapper, and he's known to have very bad anger issues. This is one of his main problems. Gets set off very easily, and that is never a good thing. Well, anyways, their arguing gets so bad that Megan's friend, Kelsey, who, by the way, is apparently her, like, bestest of friends of all time at this point, at least, she comes out, and one thing leads to another. Kelsey finds out that Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion have slept together. The bad thing about that is Kelsey and Tory Lanez have also slept together, and Megan was the one that set them up. I don't know what type of, alley-oop this is to your friend. Personally, I would never really want to set my friend up with someone I've slept with in the past, but that's just me. But now, fast forward. I'm sorry I'm jumping a lot in this. I'm really trying to get to the new evidence that just came out. Jumping ahead, the arguing gets so bad, somebody pulls out a gun. Now, according to Megan Thee Stallion's testimony, Tory Lanez had pulled out the gun because Megan and Kelsey had started to argue so bad where Kelsey wanted to start fighting Megan Thee Stallion. Anyways, according to the whole thing, Tory Lanez had taken the gun, reached over the car door, and yelled, "Dance." Megan Thee Stallion turned around and he started firing off shots, and one shot ended up hitting her in the foot. Cops show up, and Megan Thee Stallion was rushed to the hospital, and she kept saying that she had a cut on her foot, and just kept denying and denying, which, I mean, perfectly understandable. Dealing with law enforcement, it can sometimes be tricky and just really annoying. Megan Thee Stallion then, I think, went on live and said that Tory Lanez was the one that shot her, even though she was not cooperating with the police. Tory Lanez ends up getting arrested because, if you don't know, the police are, in fact, always watching any and every movie you do, especially if you are a celebrity. Tory Lanez then goes to trial. They put a restraining order on him again. Or he doesn't go to trial. He goes to court, sorry. He gets a restraining order to not be away from Megan Thee Stallion and just to be in the eyes of police at all times. Well, he breaks it 3 different times. I don't know. I don't think it's hard to cooperate with the police, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't understand it. But he breaks it 3 different times, causing him to then actually go to court for this whole thing. Megan Thee Stallion went up on stand. Long story short, I'm trying to keep it simple, trying to jump to the current stuff happening. Megan Thee Stallion said that Tory Lanez shot her, and he is found guilty. Now, the main selling point on this was that the handgun used to shoot had Tory Lanez DNA on it. The weird thing about that is that the DNA found on it was a 0.1% chance that it was Tory Lanez. So the evidence they had was just straight up baloney. It wasn't existing. They were like that one meme of Curry shooting from the moon onto Earth. They were taking a crazy shot. Also, I do want to mention that Tory had gotten handed a sentence of 10 years, and Megan Thee Stallion was getting all of this praise on the internet for getting justice. Well, now let's fast forward 2 years into modern day. Now you're probably wondering, why is this case all of a sudden getting, all this attention again if Tory Lanez had been sitting in prison for 2 years? Well, Tory Lanez had gotten stabbed 14 times in prison and apparently has had multiple different hits on him. Now you're probably like, okay, cool, he's probably just trying to get out of prison for the crime that he committed, which I would say, yes, you would be right in this case, but no, you're wrong because, again, Tory Lanez is innocent in this case. He might not be the best person, but he is innocent from what I think. Basically, a part I forgot to mention or kind of left out on purpose was that the bodyguard was the one that came out and said that Tory was not the one that shot this gun. He said that he cannot let this weigh on his conscience anymore, basically, that Kelsey was the one that shot the gun. What? I know. Also, a little side note I want to add in, Kelsey has received immunity and pleaded the fifth on any question, never had to answer a single question in court, and didn't even get her DNA tested for the weapon. That's all I want to put that out there. Kelsey, the best friend of Megan Thee Stallion, didn't get tested once for DNA fingerprints, even though it was her and Megan fighting, and it was her, Megan, and Tory Lanez in the car. All their DNA should have been tested, if I'm being completely honest. But no, they didn't do that. Also, don't you think it's weird, again, that Tory Lanez has had multiple different hits put on him in prison? I think this is the first time he's been attacked. I might be wrong in that, but again, he was stabbed 14 times in prison just now by somebody who already had a life sentence that wasn't getting out of prison. But anyways, this whole situation did happen in 2022, and he got convicted, whatever the fuck the word is, in 2023, so he's technically been serving about 5 years for a crime he supposedly didn't do. From all the information I know, I don't think he did it. I do think it was Kelsey that shot him, especially because Kelsey has been so shady in this whole business. But luckily, he is getting a second chance. Hopefully, Tory Lanez cannot be dumb and, break every rule he had been set 3 different times. But yeah, luckily, we have a new lawyer, taking up everything for him, and I hope that justice can be served. Now, the sad thing is, if Tory Lanez is found innocent, Megan Thee Stallion will not go to prison. False accusation is apparently not a crime anymore. I think with false accusation, you should be serving decently near the time that the person you were falsely accusing would be serving. Maybe that's just me saying that, but if you look at it, anytime someone is falsely accused, nothing ever happens to the false accuser. That can be a conversation for another time, but I'm just going to say that false accusations literally ruin so many people's lives, and there's no justice for it. I could walk up to somebody, usually not making it sexist, it's a woman thing, especially about rape and all that. If I was a woman, I could walk up to any man that I might have had sexual relations with that broke up with me, or I just in a relationship, I didn't like him. I could be like, he rapes me, let's take him to prison. Oh, 2 years later, oh, you found he didn't rape me? Oh, well, oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, he's free. Cool, we're good now. No, shouldn't be like that. That is a really fucked up thing to do. Anyways, if Tory Lanez, and a big if, Tory Lanez is found innocent, Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey, the best friend, I hope both of them get the justice they deserve, because you ruined this man. You took away basically 2 years, 3 years of this man's life. If Tory Lanez is guilty, then they got their justice. Cool. Anyways, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. I post a video every Monday through Friday at the new equated time of 12 p.m. EST every single day. If you're a new viewer and you're just finding this out, you got to respect me for that. That takes a lot to do. I haven't missed for about 6 to 7 months. Not easy to do that. But if you're a reoccurring viewer, thank you so much for watching. I love when you guys come and support the videos. Trust me, I read every single comment, and I really do appreciate when you guys show up. Anyways, I'm going to stop yapping. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless, and goodbye.